All right. Matchup that matters. Again, you've got to really think as much as you want to kind of dive into like the hipster matchups and the things that are like maybe no one's talking about. At the same time, I feel like there's certain things you have to talk about when it comes to stuff like this. And it's the Denver defensive line against the Buffalo offensive line. It's as simple as that. The Denver defensive line and the Denver defense in general, their pass rush has been phenomenal this year. I mean, not just good, not just great, phenomenal. Best pass rush productivity score, best pressure percentage at 40.1%, 430 total pressures. That's 34 more than the next highest team, which happens to be the Lions, by the way, which we'll get to next week because they're on the bye. Second best pass rushing EPA per play allowed. So EPA per play allowed against the pass rush. They lead the league they lead the league with 64 NFL sacks. And the fifth best pass rush win percentage. All of that is to say they are going against an offensive line that I think has gone criminally underrated this season. Aaron Kromer, the Buffalo Bills offensive line coach, has his guys ready to go week in and week out. And it's led to MVP numbers from Josh Allen. Josh Allen is one of the best at creating, if not the best at creating in the backfield. But that requires a lot of cooperation from his offensive line. And it's not always tangible. It's not always as good as measuring with a pass blocking score, though they have a 74.7 pass block grade. They are allowing they've allowed the fewest sacks this season, just 15. Josh Allen, again, his ability to get out of harm's way and get him and being mobile and stuff obviously helps with that. But they've also allowed the ninth fewest pressures, fourth lowest knockdown percentage. All that kind of stuff plays into it. And I think that Josh Allen, his time to throw is obviously higher because of the fact that he does create so much and he's scrambling around and doing all of those things. But this goes right into actually my plus factor, which is Josh Allen off script and out of structure. I think it works to the Buffalo Bills' advantage because when you think about defending something like that, when it's off script and Josh Allen is just doing what Josh Allen does, there's no real defending that. There's no planning for that because you don't know where he's going to go because he doesn't know where he's going to go yet until he's on the run. But what the offensive line does is they are completely in sync with him. So coaching that, I cannot say enough about Aaron Kromer. And if position coaches, I wish there was like an award that we could give that was O-line specific and all that kind of stuff, because I think Aaron Kromer would be in the running for the best O-line coach in the league just because of how hard it is to coach your guys to be in sync with a guy like Josh Allen. And the fact that he does have a longer time to throw, you can't defend for 4, 5, 6 seconds on the back end. And that's how long some of these plays take to develop with Josh Allen. And he's incredibly accurate on the run. He's got the fifth most scrambles, which again contributes to that longer time to throw. But it ends up working out for the Buffalo Bills. I remember having a Lions coach when they played the Bills this season tell me, like, that man is superhuman. Like, I think that if you're the Buffalo Bills, you almost hope the play breaks down and that Josh Allen just does Josh Allen things because the entire offense is in sync with him even when he goes off script. So that's kind of my matchup that matters / plus factor kind of rolled all into one because this offensive line is so good. Can the Denver defensive line affect them? Can they affect Josh Allen? His entire offense is so in sync, and it's so hard to defend when Josh Allen is just going completely off script and
Yeah, I mean it's a big time strength on strength. You know, the Denver Broncos defensive line has been playing unbelievable this year, especially over the last month. They've been one of the best defensive lines in the NFL. And you mentioned how well the Buffalo Bills offensive line is playing too. Like it feels like that is a major strength on strength. I mean, my plus factor in this one was James Cook because sort of like what we were talking about before with the Ravens, like if you have any prayer at all to stop the Buffalo Bills, you better stop them on the ground because when they're succeeding on the ground, whether it is with Josh Allen, whether it's with James Cook, whether it's with Ty Johnson or Ray Davis or whoever it is, when they're succeeding on the ground and when they're as balanced as they want to be, I don't know how you stop this team. You talked about the guy who hikes the football and who holds the football first is superhuman. And then when he gets the chance to play a defense that is on their heels a little bit, isn't as aggressive as they want to be, whether it's in pass rush or where they need to be in coverage because, oh, well, okay, well, now we got to allocate a lot more attention to stopping the run. It's just one more thing that you got to think about. So run game dominance from the Bills is going to be really important. So I'm glad that you shouted out the offensive line there. And yeah, again, if James Cook can be as dynamic and as explosive as we have seen him be this season, it's hard to keep up with this offense. It just really is. It's one of the best in the NFL. On the flip side of things, I will say my true matchup that matters here, I'm worried about the Bills' interior defensive line. I didn't realize this until doing a little bit further research. I knew the Bills' defensive line and just interior defensive line in general wasn't the best this season, but 35.4 run defense grade as a team this year. That's 30th in the NFL. Dwayne Carter, 52.3. These are run defense numbers, by the way. Ed Oliver, 57.9. Daquan Jones, 50.4. Austin Johnson, 53.0. Like this, they've been struggling. And even over the last month, like those numbers are pretty similar. They hold true there. So this has been an issue for them the entire season. And on the flip side of things, you got a monster in Quinn Miners, who's been one of the best interior offensive linemen in the league this year. 89.3 overall blocking grade over the last month, 89.3 overall, and then 87.1 run blocking. And then in that time span, over the last 5 games, the Broncos' interior offensive line, 78.8 run blocking grade. That's second only behind the Falcons. So we talk about the run game and just the potency of the Bills offense. But when you think about the Broncos, you want to make them one-dimensional. You want to put the ball in Bo Nix's hands. For as great of a year as I think Bo Nix has had, he's still a rookie, and he's still going on the road in Buffalo to start the playoffs in Wild Card Weekend. You don't really, by choice, want the ball in his hands a ton. Obviously, he's going to have to still make some throws. He's going to have to make some plays, but you want the run game to help him out. You want the run game to give Bo Nix a little bit of confidence. I think this is genuinely a matchup where he's going to be able to get that. And if the numbers, sometimes guys are just so hyped up, they're playing out of their mind. It's the playoffs, you're hosting it, like it's Sunday at 1. Like maybe the interior defensive line for the Bills are just going to have one of their best days of the year because they're so pumped up about it. But if the data holds true, this game might be closer than people expect. Broncos getting 8.5 in this game. I think that's a lot simply because I think they'll be able to slow the game down more than a lot of people anticipate because of how well they can run the football with their interior offensive line going up against an interior defensive line that hasn't been great at stopping it. So to me, I think I'd probably be taking, if I was a betting man, I'd be taking the Broncos and the points here, unless you just, like I said, feel like the Bills are going to be playing out of their minds because they're going to be so hyped up to host this game. So that's sort of my matchup that matters there.
Yeah, I like that too. And honestly, when I was looking up kind of the Josh Allen scramble stats, I noticed that, Jaden Daniels has the most, and we'll get to him in a little bit, but Bo Nix is right behind Jaden Daniels in scrambles. And so I think not only do you want to get Bo Nix to throw the ball and force Bo Nix to throw the ball to be productive if you're the Buffalo Bills defense, but you want to get him on the run. And a really easy way to do that is to get through the interior line. But like you're saying, Broncos interior offensive line, really, really excellent, really, really sound, probably isn't going to let you do that. But if you can do that, I think that's a recipe for success if you're the Buffalo defense. Get Bo Nix on the run and have to throw it on the run, because as a rookie, I think I'm going to take those odds for some errant throws, turnover-worthy plays, all that kind of stuff, if he's on the run and still trying to throw the football.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe the video. And if you don't have a PFF Plus subscription, you can get one to see all the premium stats that we talked about here on the show, plus the expert betting and fantasy advice over at subscribe.pff.com. The description is also right below, so if you are not a PFF Plus subscriber, you can come one today.